everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to share with you one of my terrarium that wasn't a success. Join me as I transform a barren land into a mini self-sustaining world. Now that's enough with the intro, let's get on with the build. As you can see, this is not in its best shape. So let's fix that now, but first it's time to clean it up. In order to do that, I need to separate out different materials. Those little bugs that you see moving around there are called isopods. But I won't use them mainly because the container is too small. Second, they might eat all the moss. This is a mistake that I did last time. For this build, I will be using, similar to really fine fern moss, haircat moss, Mium hornum or horn calcareous moss, cushion moss, slate stone. Now let's get back to the container. In order to finish cleaning, spray it with some water and using something to wipe the glass. After finishing cleaning, I added a new false bottom. This is where excess water will sit. You can say that this is the foundation. Then I added the substrate barrier. This will separate the substrate and the false bottom. Now it's time to add the substrate. This is different from the potting soil that you can buy. This is a blend of different materials like sphagnum gorgonsoni moss, sand, bark, and soil. I placed the driftwood back since it was not sitting flat. I had to move the soil around a bit for it to sit flat. Using a brush, I hid the edges of the driftwood, making it look a bit more seamless. Now it's time to start planting the moss. I decided to cover the whole floor of the terrarium with moss. For this, I used this moss that I don't know the species of this. This seems to be a mix of different types of moss. Up close, this looks like really fine fern moss. Don't know if it is. I added some haircat moss all throughout the foreground, and some cushion moss in the background and a piece in front. Now that I have finished adding the moss, it's time to build the staircase. For this, I am using slate stone. I am using the super glue and tissue method here in order to lock the pieces together. Now that I finished building the staircase, I decided to add some sand. I think it looks nicer now than it was before. I added some smaller pieces of slate stone. Now it's time to add some Mium hornum or horn calcareous moss. This may look like wines, but these are also Mium hornum or horn calcareous moss. Now the terrarium building process is nearly finished. It's time to add the water. I am adding a few springtails. This will help keep the system clean. I added some small limestones. Also some small medium and alder cones. Now it's time to seal the container. Since the original lid was made from bamboo, it was unsuitable to use. In this setup, there is an issue of molding. So I decided to use some cling film. There are advantages and disadvantages to this. Since this is made from thin plastic, it can easily be torn apart, but that's not a big issue. Since it's quite low cost, you can just replace it. Since it's clear, it gives you an extra viewpoint, which is otherwise not possible, and it can still contain moisture without any problems, so you are not at a loss. What did you guys think about this build? You can leave your opinion on the comment section. I got this piece from my old blender. I had this line around for quite some time, so I decided to use this for the build. The main reason why I did this is to reduce cost. Secondly, I had the parts lying around. I used this USB cable for powering the lights. Since the wire was preventing it from sitting flat, so I decided to cut a slot in the plastic for the cable. Using some glue, I fixed it in place. Using the correct polarities, solder the wires. As you can see, it's a perfect fit. Thank you for watching and see you guys next time.